Students, today we are going to start chapter 6, that is combustion and flame. Firstly, you should know what is the meaning of combustible substance. In this chapter, students, you will learn about combustion, what are combustible substance, what are the conditions necessary for combustion, how can we control the fire, what is a good fuel. So these different topics like types of fuels, fuel efficiency in form of calorific value, what are the different types of combustion, so all these topics will be covered in this chapter. Firstly, you should know what is the meaning of combustible substances. The substances which burn in air to produce heat and light are called combustible substances, or we can say in simple word, the burning of substances in air is called a combustion, and such substances are called combustible substances. For example, here are given certain examples like wood, coal, charcoal, kerosene, petrol, diesel, liquefied petroleum gas, which is also called LPG, CNG, compressed natural gas. All these are the examples of combustible substances. On the other hand, those substances which do not burn in air or oxygen are called non-combustible substances. For example, as you see, water is non-combustible, glass, cement, sand, all these are the non-combustible substances. When we now combustion, when we hold a small piece of charcoal with a pair of tongs and burn it, you have seen that charcoal starts burning, producing heat and light and leaving a very little ash behind. These changes are the examples of combustion. So what is combustion? The chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to produce heat or light is called combustion. Or in other words, we can say the process in which a substance combines chemically with oxygen with the evolution of heat and light is called combustion. Sometimes light is also produced during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. And as we have discussed, air is the main condition for the process of combustion. If air is present, only then combustion can take place. Similarly, we can divide it into complete combustion or incomplete combustion. If sufficient amount of air is available, that is called complete combustion, and if the burning substance is not getting sufficient air, then it undergoes incomplete combustion. In incomplete combustion, carbon monoxide is produced, which is very harmful gas. So the combustion of the substances should take place completely. Now we have discussed that air is necessary for the process of burning. Here is given an activity in which we have taken a candle and we have placed an inverted tumbler over them, or we can say inverted chimney over them. In A case, as you can see in picture A, the air is allowed to pass from the bottom, whereas in B and C, air is not allowed. So what will happen? In this, we have to fix a lighted candle on a table, put a glass chimney over the table and rest it on a few wooden blocks in such a way so that air can enter the chimney. You will see when the candle is getting the sufficient amount of air, then it continues to burn continuously. So in picture A, the candle is burning continuously because it is getting the air from the lower side. But if in case B and C, the candle is not getting the sufficient amount of air, after some time if it is burning, then it flickers and goes off. So this activity clearly proves that air is necessary for the process of combustion. If there is no air, there will be no combustion. Next condition which is required for the process of combustion, that is ignition temperature. What is ignition temperature? The minimum temperature at which a substance catches fire and burns is called its ignition temperature. Each combustible substance must be heated to certain temperature before it could catch fire, and this lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called its ignition temperature. It is also called kindling temperature. A substance will not catch fire and burn if its temperature is lower than its ignition temperature, and different substances have different ignition temperature. For example, you have seen that kerosene and petrol catches fire very immediately as compared to wood. So it proves that the ignition temperature of kerosene or petrol is lower than the ignition temperature of wood, and those substances which have very low ignition temperature and catch easily fire, they are called inflammable substances like LPG, CNG, petrol, alcohol, because all these combustible substances are having very low ignition temperature and they catch the fire rapidly. So now we will discuss what are the conditions necessary for combustion. From this we have come to the conclusion that the conditions which are necessary for combustion are: number 1, fuel, means presence of any combustible substance. Combustible substance is also called a fuel. Second one is air, that is oxygen. Oxygen is the supporter of combustion. If there will be no oxygen, there will be no combustion. Thirdly, ignition temperature. So we have to provide the heat to the substance so that it may attain its ignition temperature. If one or two of these conditions are absent, the substance cannot catch fire. So 3 conditions necessary for combustion are: number 1, fuel; number 2, air; and number 3, heat. So today, dear students, you will read this relevant topic from your book and study which conditions are necessary for the process of combustion. Thank you. Have a nice day.